But
hold on real quick. Die. You said
Yes.
you make your intentions known. At least they know where you're coming from. So you're telling me.
No, not
Hold
just
on,
my
wait.
That's
So
all.
you're telling me. I'm about to explain what I'm asking, so you can answer.
Okay.
So you telling me when you say you don't want to be contacted after 10, you tell these guys, I don't want to talk after 10 because the only thing you want from me is probably sex.
Yeah, I don't trust you. Is it like the only
No,
thing?
no, is that what you're
The only thing
that what you told
I
them?
don't say I don't trust you, but I'll say the only thing open is legs. So you know that's what I think you're on.
See,
Now,
no,
if he
see,
says something like, "Okay, I work in the mornings. I'm only off at this time," and I might make adjustments depending
what if
on who
he
you are. I might
what
make
if he what if he says,
I'll make
man, I just really want to hear your voice and talk to you.
No, what if he say?
Hold on,
Nah,
Bruiser, wait.
hold on. What if he say? What? Okay.
I'll give you 5
What if he
minutes.
don't want you to open your? What if he don't want you to open your legs? Dad, what if he just say, I want some head.
What the fuck, barbarism?
God damn it,
God,
Bruiser.
what the hell?
Die. What if
What the
die?
hell? But
Die.
Sweeney,
Hold
back to
on.
your point,
Die. Hold
Sweeney. If
on.
he just
Die.
said that to me,
Die.
Sweeney, hold on.
When are you?
Let me
When do
answer
you have
Sweeney's
time to
question
talk
quick.
during the day?
Wait, let me answer Sweeney's question real quick. Sweeney, to your point, if he does say that, like, hey, I just want to holler at you real quick. Let me get 5-10 minutes of your time. Woo, woo. I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm not gonna lie, where I'm at right now, I'm really trying to get on this schedule of waking up at 6, getting to the gym, making sure I'm handling my business. If I'm not like tomorrow, I'm not planning to go to the gym. Tomorrow my relaxed day because I gotta go to the superintendent office. Tomorrow's not my gym day. So okay, cool. That's why on some Wednesdays I have not just because I didn't want to, but I really started filling my schedule up. So I'm truly being honest here. I'm trying to build self-discipline right now. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't understand that as a man, and not just that, I am trying to be careful who I court because I feel like if you're trying to get to know me and you're only calling me after a certain time period, to me, that's a red flag based on the man I've dated. Now, that might not be the case for y'all and the man you've dated, but for me, that has been a red flag for me.
No,
If
I
you
get
can't
that.
text me throughout the day and say,
Yeah,
hey,
he's a
what's up
correction
with
officer. He
you?
worked
No,
late.
no, we get that. Okay, I understand that, right?
Yeah, like that.
But
Yeah.
this actually proves my point when I
Like from
told
a
you about
genuine, like, I was
this actually
trolling
this
stuff.
actually
I was
proves my
trolling.
point when I said that people who are marriage minded don't run into this issue, right? Because let's say for the sake of argument, you are having a dude does call you
100%.
a dude does call you after 10 p.m. Now, a person who doesn't understand this and who isn't serious will say, I'm not talking to nobody after 10 o'clock because I done talked to this dude before and that motherfucker burned me, so I ain't talking to nobody. But a person who's serious would be like, okay, you want to talk to me? Let's have a conversation. I'll be on the phone with you, baby.
Mm-mm.
Hold on, wait. And then the moment he says, what are you wearing? That's when you know he's not serious.
But Sweeney, do you understand if I like this guy and I get on the phone with him, we could be on the phone till 1 o'clock in the morning. Now I'm not getting up for the gym at 6 like I want to do because I decided to. You know what I'm saying? Why am I compromising my boundaries
no,
that
but
for a
at that
guy that I
point,
don't even know is worth it
no,
yet? You know what I'm saying?
at that point, so again, you're trying to guard yourself from something before it even happens.
No, I know
Hold on,
myself.
wait. If you know yourself and you're serious, you can have a conversation with him and say, hey, yeah, what's up? What you talking about? What's going on, baby? Whatever. Y'all spit your sweet nothings. You talk about his day real quick. He tell you how some things are going on with him. He just really wanted to hear your voice before you went to bed. And you say, hey, babe, I really got to get up in the morning. I'll talk to you tomorrow. That dude will understand. But if you say, I ain't talking to none of you motherfuckers after 10 o'clock because that motherfucker burned me, you're not serious.
Pause, because ain't nobody burning shit.
God damn it. God damn it.
Did she say
No,
pause?
but
I give up. I give up.
No, I get what you're saying, Sweeney, and sometimes it's not them. Let me take some accountability too. Sometimes it's me. Sometimes I draw the conversation out to 1, 2 o'clock. Y'all see me on these.
And if you do, be happy.
No, that's lack of discipline.
No. I get. No, you're right.
Like,
but you know what you did have? You know what you did have? A man that likes you and wanted to talk to you at 2 o'clock in the morning about some shit that was going on in your day. And you could say, all right, I know I talked to you
can't
2
talk at 7 p.m.
No, you're right.
Why we can't talk at 8?
And I'm sure that person who was willing to talk to you about your shit that's going on in your day, because you said you drove the conversation at 2 a.m. He was ready to get off at 12:30. You said, I want to talk to you another 2.5 hours, right? So he was willing to listen to you until 2 a.m. That means that you got somebody that wants to talk to you. Now, you can say tomorrow, hey, look, we was on the phone to 2 a.m. I can't be on the phone with you that late. Baby, can we talk at like 9 or 8? and you can mind that out with somebody. But if you're just trying to cut people off because you're trying to protect yourself from a problem before it ever even happens, you're gonna get the results.
Sweeney, I'm being realistic with
So
myself. I can get there. I'm not saying I can't get there. I will get there, Sweeney. I will get there. I promise you I'll get there. As of right now, until I got my discipline and I cherish my discipline more than a male's attention, I'm gonna focus on my discipline.
But you know what discipline is? Discipline is making something happen in the worst of circumstances and still being disciplined to make it happen. So what you're focused on is a routine, but when you add people to your life, your routine can change. When children come into the picture, your routine can change, but discipline is making something happen even when circumstances change each and every day, right?
So let me build my routine.
The other right, because a man would have to bend, another man would have to bend his routine to make time for you, right? So you would expect the adjustments and for him to bend and fold to make time in your life, but then you're telling him he needs to be able to fit exactly into how you have your life set up currently.
See, Casey, I'm not like most women. I'm not going to require that from a man until he determines he's like me. If he, I can't expect.
Are you gonna
like,
get
I'm not
to
one
that,
of those
though?
women that just expect complete, like, oh, Princess Truman, you do this, you adjust your life for me, and I'm not gonna. No, we both, let's get to know each other. Let's make sure I trust you and you trust me before we start compromising our boundaries. We're like, I don't believe that.
But what I'm saying is, you're talking and speaking about how your day is set up. How do you know his day is set up to talk to you before 10 p.m.? What if his day not set up? So you just saying, oh, well, sorry, can't get to know you because this is my boundary to speak after 10 o'clock. So
yes, because if
if
I'm
he
not who I need
works,
to be, I'm not going to be who I need to be in that relationship for him.
so if he works 10, 16-hour days, it doesn't line up to talk to you throughout the day. If he can't talk to you by 10 p.m., then you're just not going to get to know that person.
On weekends, we can talk after some Friday to Sunday. We could talk after 10.
Okay.
It is 1:45 on a Friday morning. We was on a Thursday night. You've been here till 1 o'clock in the morning. And 1 o'clock
Your
in the morning.
intentions are different, Sweeney. What y'all think is so obvious to y'all is not obvious to women. We don't have the same
listen. Hold on, wait, listen.
Don't speak for all women.
No.
Because I definitely understand what Sweeney's saying.
You said you have a busy schedule.
We already know your foundation is different than
you said you have a busy schedule and you got things that you need to do in the morning, and it's about discipline. So I would much rather you give this time, if you're going to be undisciplined, give this time to a man that cares about you and loves and wants to be with you, than to give it to us.
100%.
I'm gonna just keep talking to y'all until I get from y'all of what man I should be giving that, that opportunity.
So, Doc, here's the main problem that we have with that, right? Something that you said a few moments ago that I couldn't shake, right? You said when a man gets with me, he knows what he's getting into. So that stance right there lets everyone know that you are telling men that they are going to have to fall into your program. That is the opposite of how things work, right? No. Men are not going to want to have to fit into men don't want to fit into your program, especially for what they are going to perceive as a frivolous reason.
That's
right?
Not what
for
I
you
meant.
To have,
you should have asked me first.
Say what?
That's not what I meant by that statement.
Well, I heard it. We both speak English, and this is the thing, right? When you convey a message, it's going to be perceived. So you have to understand how to articulate it so people are going to get it. But the way that you presented it, and you presented it to damn near everyone one-on-one on the panel, and we all get the same message from you, right? And I would imagine that those men who are getting shunned at 10 o'clock for whatever reason are going to perceive it a certain way. But if you said a man has to know what he's getting into with me, then that means that you are unwilling to change the things that will be perceived as wrong about you.
But Trev,
right?
no man has told me that.
No man has told you.
If they're not communicating, it's not the man for me.
Wait.
Do you understand?
You said no man has told you what?
And not communicate. Why would I want to be with a man like that anyway?
Well, a dude that's not that invested in you is just gonna haul ass, right? And you could turn away some good potential men, but once dudes see that females are being weird, they may not always question it. They'll just haul ass, right? They'll be like, "Oh, she about to be a headache," and I'm out, right? So all I'm saying is that you shrink in your pool dramatically when you decide that you're just going to have hangups. This is a hangup. That's what that is. So at least that's how it's going to be perceived by men.
That's what I'm
And
like,
unfortunately,
based
you're
on
dealing with
who?
men. So based on men, right? Based on men, this is
I haven't gotten that
it's
feedback.
pretty much a consensus on this. Yeah, they're not.
Nah, this
That's
a
why you
clone.
need us to tell you
That's what
because
it's like.
This is a died clone. This is not the
wait,
die. The last.
wait a
This is
minute.
not
You
the
say you're
die I
not getting
talked to
that
on the
I
last.
feedback.
don't want to talk
They're
to
not.
a guy that don't know how to communicate. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't want a guy that don't
What
know
does
how to
that
communicate. I
mean?
hate like
This
that's the
is
same
this is a
thing y'all
clone.
saying that a guy when women think that a guy just supposed to read her mind and know what she wants, and that's stupid to me. That's stupid. If something that small you can't communicate about, I don't want to be with you. Honestly, I don't. That's something small and stupid.
Yeah, but a dude's
If
not
you
going to want to
actually
tell you
told me,
that's some weird
hey,
shit in like one of your
Diamond,
first
you told me
conversations.
that
He's
you
going
had
to
these
he's going to
problems.
think
You
that.
told me you coming from this part in your relationship. But listen, I really want to talk to you. I really want to get to know you. And if you're not willing to make this adjustment for me, then we just gonna stop talking. Depending on what our conversations was up until that point, I might feel like, well, you ain't worth it, or I might feel like, damn,
Why do he have
what
to
we
fight
built
you
to
for
this
that?
point, I feel like it's worth it, and I want to get to know you more. I have that option. Why do y'all feel like we have
Why
to
do he have to
entertain
fight
every
you for?
person
Yeah,
that
You're
approaches us?
making
That's weird.
no. That's the question. The reality is you're making it a fight when it doesn't have to
yeah,
be.
because
It's
these
not
are
a fight.
boundaries that you're
It's
willing
a
to
fight
bend
because
on. You're
you're
setting
saying why don't
boundaries
you
that
just
you don't
tell
believe
me
in.
that you don't like what I'm doing to you?
Yes,
It's like
because
he
if you're
should-
doing something I don't like, I'm gonna express it. I'm not gonna sit there and act funny and do childish
But
shit. I'm gonna let you
no, a
know,
man is
hey,
not
I'm
gonna
not with this.
listen. A man is not gonna sit there and start an argument with you about
That's
talking
not an
to you after.
argument.
Hold
That's
on,
a
wait.
conversation.
That's not a conversation. If you tell me I can't talk to you after 10 a.m., 10 p.m., and I ask, I'm like, that. Why would you have some type of boundary like that? That would
That's
really
bullshit.
9
That's
times out of
stupid
10.
for
That
you
is,
to be offended by that. That's stupid for you to be offended by that.
you know,
You
see
Hey,
how
Di, real
quickly.
quick.
Hold on,
Watch
wait.
this.
You see how
What happened
quickly?
these past couple
It's
months?
so
Listen,
petty
What
and
is going
small,
on
and
tonight?
y'all wonder why people ain't getting married
You ain't been on
because
the panel.
guys don't want to communicate.
What is
That,
going
hey,
on?
You
I'm
notice how
pretending.
it
Like,
just
that's
you
weird.
said it wasn't an
Bro, that's
argument.
weird.
Hold on, wait. You said it wasn't an argument, and I'm just the avatar for that conversation. And you see how quickly it went there.
How?
Now, because it just go back and watch
This
the
a clone.
last.
This is a
Go
clone.
back and watch the last 30 seconds real quick. If you go back and watch the last 30 seconds, you said this wouldn't be an argument. And I just question why you would do something like that to me. If I was calling you after 10 and I'm like, I don't want to have that type of conversation with you. I was going to say something else, but you immediately jumped to why it's stupid for you to even question me on some shit. That's an argument.